queries for everyone, and you all have the curiosity how this is possible that the medicines can be transmitted from a distance. So this led to the discovery. Dr. Sahni himself tried to explain, and in 1970, his first publications came out as a discovery, new transmission of homeopathic drug energy from a distance by, and which was published later on, published by the Bijan, and still this book is available. Now this book is also available in Hindi editions also. So last year only this book was published by our organization, and English edition is being published by the Bijan publishers. So let me start the topic of my presentation. I'll be sharing my screen so that I may be able to explain in more details about the topics. I request host to kindly enable me to share the screen. Dr. Sweta, I think.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. Yeah. Give me a moment, sir.
Good.
Your screen is visible now.
Yeah. I think I am visible. My screen is visible to you all.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yes, it is.
So,
it is visible.
This topic is transmission of dynamic medicines dynamic homeopathic medicines from a distance and innovative concepts. Friends, the topic that was displayed was the hair transmission, and there are some confusion about the transmission and hair transmission. Why we say hair transmission and why we say the transmission, you'll be able to know what is the reality. So transmission of homeopathic medicines from a distance, innovative concepts, and this presentation is dedicated to our founder, Dr. V. Sahni, during the month of his birth anniversary celebrations. Now, right from the time of Hippocrates, I'm going back to the history, 420 BC, when the medicines was discovered, and thereafter it started getting diversified into the different systems. Philosopher Hippocrates himself said that the medicines have got the applicability. Medicines are required for the practice or removing the sickness. So he is regarded as the father of the medicines. But how it is being practiced, he only talked that the medicines can be applied on the similar symptoms and the dissimilar symptoms, which is the beginning of the division of the system of the different system of the medicines. So with some variations from the nature, there are the nature's law and there are the individual understanding. These things we have to keep in mind. The nature's law are quite permanent and it is infallible. They cannot fail, but we create our own personal law to facilitate our own system. And with this aspect, the medicines started getting deviated into the different forms. But entire principle revolves around the life, disease, and the cure. So practice of medicines is what? It is simply to treat the person who is a human being who is having a disease and to bring a cure. This is the only purpose, and this is the principle. This is the basic principle. And journey of such similar medicines traveling through into the space. Hippocrates gave birth to principle of medicines based on similar and dissimilar application of systems. This we all know. And homeopathic system emerged with the law of similar with applicability of the dynamic plane of life by Dr. Henneman. And Dr. B. Sahni gave birth to new dimension of administration of dynamic medicines from a distance by transmitting them through the separated hair of the body. Now here I am using the word separated part of the body, not the hair, separated part of the, I'll be explaining these things in detail. So Dr. B. Sahni, he has deviated, he has just gone beyond Dr. Henneman by prescribing the small pilules on the oral part of the body, on the tactile part of the body, and through the olfactions part of the life, which he has described in his Organon of Medicines in file number 284, that the medicines can be applied, homeopathic medicines can be applied on the oral methods, by olfactions method, by smelling, and even by touch of the. So, and later on, he also compared these medicines to be the similar to having the dynamic, so it can have the dynamic effects also. So all these questions are very important to understand and perceive the homeopathy in reality. Friends, effective introductions of medicines into targeted area need a compatible way of administration of the medicines. What is required? What is required? We require a media to put the medicines, the whatever medicines you have selected, the whatever way you have selected, although we have the definitive law, although we have the definitive principle, we have the definitive therapeutic process where we can select the medicines, and after selecting the medicines and selecting the potency, we have to find out the suitable, compatible, which way we have to be administered. And Dr. Henneman concept of treating the vital plane of the life requires the vital mode. Definitely, what Dr. Henneman said, we are treating this body? No. We are treating this mind? No. We are treating the human life. This is only ultimate. We are treating the vital principle. Vital principle is the ultimate things. And all our attempts, all our medicines are directed only to act on the vital principle. And what is vital principle? Vital principle is invisible. It is invisible. It is made visible only through the expression of the body and the mind. We see the vital principle through our activity of the body. We see the vital principle through the way we talk, the mind works. But it is behind. So direction, the work is the directive, and it is invisible. So to reach the vital principle, the similia, we talk about the law of the similia. So medicines has to be similar to the concept of vital principle. And that's why Dr. Henneman discovered the treatment of the vital plane, discovery of the medicines beyond the biology of the life. What he said? He started diluting the medicines to such an extent that we know about the potent digestion. You take one part of the medicine, the 99 parts, it becomes the first potency. Now the medicines has been reduced to 1/100, and again from this level, so and go on diluting, and you will find that it has gone beyond the visible area, among the molecules. It has crossed them. So there is only energy like that of the vital principle. The Henneman thought was only to make it similar to the vital principle. So applicability of law similia with the involved vital plane. It is only the vital similia has to reach the vital plane. Our understanding about possibility of subtle nature of the medicines involved in homeopathic medicines administration. So this is the basic, this is the ground where we have worked, and what Dr. B. Sahni had tried to work on it, and he tried to make it a practical utility of this area. So penetrating capacity of medicines are dependent on the nature of medicines as well as the place where it is tried to be administered. So material level needs material transfer of the medicines. Like the allopathic medicines, they are transferred through by the oral route only. They cannot be transmitted because they are material in nature. And mental suggestions are there. There are very many psychic counseling and suggestions. So nothing is required, only the psychic counseling. But when the problem is at the dynamic level, we all homeopaths know that we are treating the patient at the dynamic level, the chronicity which is, means the disease which has reached the dynamic level of the medicine and dynamic level, and that's why it needs the dynamic mode. And for this, to explain this area only, Dr. Hahnemann has discovered the theory of the potentizations. Because by potentizing, he had the hypothesis, he has the understanding that the medicines has to be diluted to such an extent that they should become similar to the vital principle, the dynamic principle. So homeopathic medicines can be divided into two distinct categories: molecular and non-molecular medicines. What is now? There is the way you are using the medicines. The molecular medicines are molecular medicines means your mother tincture, and where there are molecules are present in the medicinal bottle, where the medicinal property, molecular property are present. So those are called the molecular medicine. So your mother tincture and low potency are very molecular in level. But non-molecular medicines beyond potency 6C or 30, they have cross the beyond Avogadro's number, and it requires the dynamic area. So dynamic medicines, and they don't require any material substance there. So founder of homeopathic system of medicine is trying to find out the appropriate mode of administration, and has mentioned in FI number 284. And search, this is just a hypothesis. Dr. Hahnemann spoke about the oral, tactual, and olfaction. And traditional mode of administration of the oral medicines was compulsory. Why he chose the practice of the oral medicines? Only because it was the tradition, it was the prevalence. Everyone were putting the medicines and have that. And still today, if a patient comes to you, he will say, "Doctor, give me some pills. Doctor, give me some pills, some medicines. He needs something to put into the mouth so that he can get satisfied with the medicines." So this is the traditional way that we have the medicines has been followed. But Dr. Hahnemann has deviated without oral. He also tried on the tactual, and he also gave it in the olfaction through the smelling of the medicines. And you find nowadays also all over the country and in different parts of the world, you see that the homeopathic medicines are being transmitted, are being administered in different ways. Some are using the olfaction method, some are using the tactual methods also. Dr. 283. Now this is the very beautiful quotations from Dr. Hahnemann. Now, in order to act really in conformity with the nature, see the conformity with the nature, the true physicians will prescribe his well-selected homeopathic medicines only in exactly as similar dose as will just suffice to overpower and annihilate the disease before him, in a dose of such minuteness that if human fallibility should betray him into the administering an inappropriate medicine. So he was very much conscious the way, the amount, and where it has to reach, where your medicines has to be reached. We are injecting the medicines, we are putting into the body. What can you imagine how you are, by putting into the mouth, what you have to do? You swallow the medicines and then you have to digest them, and then it gets assimilated. So it is a long route. So Dr. Hahnemann said, no, this don't require any long route. It can directly come in consideration, contact with the vital principle. So this is this he has clearly indicated in 283 FI. Now, administration of dynamic medicines of diseased person has remained a subject for Dr. Hahnemann and all his followers. We all are the follower of Hahnemann. We all believe in Hahnemann, and we practice in the name of the Hahnemann, and we always talk about the homeopathic medicines as the dynamic medicines. So every part of the body that possesses the sense of touch is also capable of receiving the influence of medicines propagating through their power to all other parts of the body. So this is in 289 and 1. So these important concepts will bring your mind. I'm just trying to take your mind towards the dynamic medicines so that you may be able to perceive the idea why we are transmitting the medicines, why it is, and how much it can be possible, how much it can be successful. Friends, Dr. B. Sahni discovered new mode of administration of dynamic nature contained in homeopathic medicines and observed that can be administered from a distance as remote sensing attributed property is most natural outcome of thoughts which insights into the potentized homeopathic medicine. Dr. B. Sahni's thoughts were concentrated on the remote sensing attributed property. What you mean by the remote sensing attributed property? A remote sensing attributed property means a dynamic property which can be, so when you say that your medicine is dynamic in nature, that means it has the capacity to sense from the remote, from a distance. Remote means from a distance. So this is a remote. So but this is only the idea attracted Dr. Hahnemann, that when it is dynamic, so it must have the remote sensing property. Remote sensing from a distance. So homeopathic medicines are, now it is another controversial subtopic is there. Homeopathic are medicines or memory? Very controversial topics which has been tried to be answered, and still it is unanswered. Memory refers to the process that are used to acquire, store, retain, and later retrieve information. There are three major processes of memory: storage, and retrieval. Memory means it has the encoding, we put it into it, we store it, and retrieve. So this is the process that dynamic medicines is working. Now, recently the French, this is another example I am citing about the Nobel Prize winner, French virologist Luc Montagnier, for his co-discovery, the link between the HIV and AIDS presented Kasi homeopathic method in 2009. He suggested that water could retain electrochemical properties even when the solution was massively diluted. The contention of Montagnier, a professor at Shanghai University in China, again shocked the scientific community and were met with such a belief. He said that the water can retain the memory, and that's why when we dilute the medicines and they retake the memory of the medicines, and it is being carried on into the subsequent dilutions. Subsequent dilutions is being there. So another work is Japanese author Masaru Emoto. He contended that human consciousness has an effect on the molecular structure of water, became known to him for his beautiful picture of the water crystals. Now this Masaru Emoto, he discovered that when medicines, when substance is put into the water, that the crystal of the nature of the water gets changed, and that cannot be measured through the laboratory process. Now see what he has tried to take the photographic water crystals. So this is the before effect of the water with the immune vibrations. Then 500 people sending positive thoughts to bottled water. So this is before and after it. This is before and this is after. And prayer over the water. Some people started giving prayer before the water, and after the prayer, the structure of the crystal of the water gets changed. So this is the effect that we try to put through the potentizations in homeopathy. Now, beyond Avogadro molecular number, as per the Avogadro molecular higher potency beyond 12C, medicines cannot have even trace of the starting material. How can they be medicines? So homeopathic medicines, it is very vague to say that it is a medicine. If distinguishing chemical formula is the criteria, then they are non-medicines. So still that they continue to cure for over 2 centuries. It implies necessity to reorient our thinking pattern. What is required? We have to thinking pattern required. See, this is the Avogadro number 6.02 into 10 to the power 23 constitutes one molecule. And when it crosses that, there is nothing else is there. Concept of quantum energy transportations. Hypothesis of quantum energy teleportations was also put forward by Japanese physicist of the Tokyo University, which proposed that it may be possible to teleport energy by exploiting quantum energy fluctuations of an entangled vacuum state in the quantum. That means he says the quantum energy can be teleported, can be sent to the distant part by putting it in a definitive frequency or the pattern. So hypothesis proposed that energy may be injected into the 0 point fluctuations of the field at one place and extracted from the fluctuations at the other place. So if you put at one place and if you extract it other place, you can get it. So even the interstellar distance energy transfer, the amount of teleported energy is non-zero but negligibly small. In contrast, the teleportation protocol will be effective in small quantum worlds of nanoscale devices like quantum computers. Quantum energy teleportations, a quantum protocol which transfer locally available energy in an operational sense from one subsystem of a many-body system to another entangled group state by using local operations and classical communications. So it is like this. Just you see the background of that. So from here it is being spreading like that. So our homeopathic medicines have got the similar presentations like this. So dynamic property, all dynamic property, they have the electromagnetic waves. If you say that the homeopathic medicines are dynamic, you have to say that here our medicines have got the electromagnetic waves. So it is, and dynamic nature of the medicines compels, when you think about the dynamic medicines, you have to think about the remote administrations. Today, we are experiencing remote effects of dynamism in every field of our life. Everywhere, you have the remote sensing property. We are using the mobile. We are using the TV camera. We are operating everything through the distance. So why it cannot be done in the medicines? Why it is not? Why this cannot be applied in the homeopathic medicines? Because we have already conceived the idea that our medicines are dynamic in nature. Whoever who have studied homeopathy thoroughly and have believed in the potency, they only have to believe. Otherwise, they cannot prove it. They cannot prove it that there is a medicinal stuff. The scientific world is trying to prove it, but yet it has not come to a final conclusion. There are many experimentations going on trying to justify what is the reality, but yet it is not possible. So Dr. Hahnemann has compared the effect of the medicines with the mesmerism. While the mystery of homeopathic medicines working is still revealed, effect of this has displayed effectiveness beyond doubts. So Dr. Hahnemann has in 293 has talked about the mesmerism. He said that explaining the mesmerism, if you go through the 293, he tries to explain how the mesmerism works. And he has compared the effect of mesmerism to be similar to the effect of the homeopathy. Means mesmerism, you all know, it is a distance practice, and so the effect of the homeopathic medicine is also like that. Dr. Henneman, Dr. B discovered that homeopathy are transmitted from a distance through the nature being of the person. His discovery, the original discovery was that medicines can be transmitted through the natural belonging of the person. So what he now this is the experimentations I'm now going to explain how it is there. Any natural belonging separated from the body retains their connectivity with the original body. This question is definitely will put how the hair when detached from your body, it has got the connectivity with your body. So it has been proved that when this is the part and it is disconnected, they have the connectivity. This is dotted red line. It indicates the connectivity. Thus, medicines administered on a separated hair sends the signal to the body, which subsequently receives them. If you put the medicines on this yellow area, it will travel through this dotted line and it will reach to the next part of the counterpart. So if you put the medicines on the hair of the patient, it will be received by the body of the patient. Today, science is venturing to explore the realm that has been foretold. In 1982, an experiment made by team of the physicists in France confirmed the idea of transcendence of quantum energy. That means again that this is a teleportation. The experiment conducted by Alain Aspect and collaborator proved that two quantum particles emitted from the same source retains extremely correlated. They have the correlationship with them. So when a change is made to one particle, instantly the other particles is affected. Similarly, even separated by a vast distance. So when there is no signal in the space, time to meditate, their connections where then exist, and instantly connections between the correlated quantum effects that is responsible for the signal-less distance. So when you put here, it gets transmitted like this. So now this is changes made in one part will have the counter effect on the other part. If you make the change on this part, it will have the same effect on the other part of the body, of the life. So following assumptions were made to explain the process. Now what Dr. Henneman, Dr. B. Sahni has tried to explain how it works. The first hypothesis was the electromagnetic waves from the environment are incidents on medicines at infinite number of planes, and they are scattered at right angles in the direction of the incidence. Like this. This is the incidence ray, and this is the surface, and this is the reflected ray. So this is the reflected surface. So when the medicine is put into the bottle, and it acquires the property of the reflections and property of this age property, and this is the discovery of the Raman's. So Raman reflected ray, there is a difference between the incidence ray and the reflected ray. Incidence ray, which is natural, which is pure, when it is reflected to the other, when it is reflected, it carries the reflecting property of the reflective surface from where it is there. So the whole range of the electromagnetic waves are there on the homeopathic file, and they are coming on that, and when it is reflected, they carry the effect of the homeopathic medicines. So whole range of the electromagnetic incidents on the file containing homeopathic medicines are reflected along with the medicinal property. So now the scattered radiations have different frequency from the incident radiations, and the difference in frequency between the above radiations is the characteristics of the medicines used, but is dependent on the incident radiations. Now, see, now we have inserted one hair into these medicines. Now the incidence, this medicines. Now all the frequency it assumes the frequency and of this through this hair, and it is being transferred to the patient. So here inserted the file containing homeopathic medicines. So reflected electromagnetic waves is through the passes through the hair transmitted to the patient with forced vibration or the sympathetic vibrations. So when it is everywhere it is there, now it is forced to travel through the hair to reach the patient. So patient's hair or natural belonging, as soon as they come in the field of the medicines, they attain the frequency of the scattered radiations, and simultaneously the patient kept at a distance also attain almost similar frequency due to the forced or the sympathetic vibration. Now this is called the Sahani effect. Whole range of the electromagnetic are incident on the transmission set. Transmission set means the medicine where the bottle containing the homeopathic medicines and where the hair is inserted. Hair assumes the frequency of the scattered beam and transmit the medicinal energy to the patient. Now, effect of the medicines are instant, very fast. They have been demonstrated through the Karelian photography. Patient experiences the change. Change has been confirmed through the pathological reports also. Now, I'm going to show you the Karelian photography. This is the fingerprint of Dr. B. Sahani, which was taken in through the Karelian photography. I think you may be aware about the Karelian photography. Karelian photography is the process by where you can photograph the aura of the patient. So you see all these points to be the having the black side is the aura of the fingers of the Dr. B. Sahani. This is the fingertips only. And now it is without medicines. Now, after transmission of that sulfur 10 you see the changes. You see the previous one. This is the previous one. All these parts are like this. And after this transmission, the changes took place like this. Now, this is another patient. This Karelian photography was done in Germany. And Gladia was one of the patients. This is the fingerprint of his, Gladia Lewis. And after the transmission of Nephrum muriaticum by 0/3 in LM potency. Now this is the changed. Now this is another patient, Hebert Brewer, fingertips, without medicines. These are the experimental stage. And after the transmission with the Nux vomica 0/1, this is the change that we can observe. Friends, some cases are there indicating the effectiveness of the drug transmission. This is a case of the filaria consulted for treatment on in 2005, and arsenic L was 0/3 was transmitted. The process that we adopted was through the repertorial arsenic L was selected on the basis of the repertorial analysis at that time, and the follow-up, you see the marked ameliorations in pain and swelling. Again, you see the skin peeled off. And again, you see the swelling and pain almost disappeared. And again, now this seems to be almost normal. Now, this is another few cases, herpetic eruptions. This is the date-wise, and you see the changes. We have treated various cases of cancer, leukoderma, asthma, and many other incurable using only the drug transmission with great success. At our institute, our mode of administration is only drug transmission. We do not give any oral medicines to any of the patients. This is very much, anyone can visit our clinic at Patna, and I am practicing at this institute only, and I am also following the patient at the very famous hospital in Patna, Koji Holy Family Hospital, where every week there are OPD is there. A lot of the patients are coming and they are transmitted they are taking treatment only through the transmission. We have the weekly clinic at Mahavira Santan, the famous cancer hospital in Patna. And here also hundreds of patients are there on every week, and they are not taking any oral medicines through their mouth. Now, what is the advantages? There are various advantages. Distance is no bar. Seated from Patna to Delhi, you can receive the patients. And now we have the patients throughout the country. And during the corona period also, we have been treated. We continue treating the patient with our medication. And during aggravations, it can be brought under control by simply removing the hair from the medicines. In cases of wrong selection of medicines, action can be stopped by removing the hair. It is controlled mode of application of medicines. Only required dosage is administered. So this is very important. There are many other advantages. I am simply giving you the gist of the explanation. Now, there are many clinical trials have been conducted, and it has proved that medicines are application of medicines are not a dream, but a reality. This is our consumption, and we have the firm belief. It raises many questions. Now, as I told you in the beginning, many of why we call it the hair transmission. Only because hair is very convenient, and we can store it in our clinic. You have to simply pluck the hair from your head and you keep it with you. But if you take the other part of the body, they have to be preserved, and after sometimes they loses the quantum value. But here in our clinic, we have the patient as old as 25 years, 30 years, hair preserved with us. And whenever they come, we don't ask for the new hair. The same hair is being practiced. So this is very important. That's why it has become very convenient, and say the popular name, it came up as a hair transmitter. So we appeal to all conscious homeopaths to come forward to accept the fact which will elevate the status of the medicines. This is my presentations for you all. So thank you very much for your patience hearing. And after this, I'm going to display with another slides about the some of the practical applicability, because Dr. Wahi asked me to give some practical cases also which has been cured through this medicine. So I'm just stopping this here, and I will be loading on the new screen sharings. So now this is my clinical experience with the chronic cases with repertorial practice and dynamic distant mode of administration of the medicines from a distance. These are some of the cases that I am going to share with you so that you can see how we work. It is very much important. The theoretical aspects were there in the first part of the lecture. Now I am coming to the practical part, where I'll be demonstrating how we are doing in the clinic. So homeopathic, we all know now, this is simply itself the vast treasure of natural gifts from the nature. Our learning and experience are the continued phenomena that leads to the mission. Perception as well as confidence, clarity of the understanding which instills from faith towards the professionalism. Understanding develops with the life tuned with the continued learning. Now, since I am very happy that the South Delhi Association is having a continued learning session every month, and they are following it very religiously, and they are attending and they are learning. So this is very much important. The continuing of the life, physician's life, the patient's life are the essence of the repertorial presentations of homeopathic practice. No one can store the vastness of homeopathic data of symptoms and medicines in mind and keep them ready to be recalled. It is not possible to store the entire Mitra Medica into your memory. You can keep one book, Allen's notebook or a small book, but they are not the completeness of the Mitra Medica. They explain one part of the medicine. So the vastness of the medicines cannot be there. So I'm just I'm just starting from this area. A case of bulky uterus. It is a single woman, that means ki unmarried, 48 years, committed to a ward religious. She was a sister, approached our department at Kurji Holy Family Hospital, Patna, for her pain in the cervical ring. For the reason for coming to our clinic was not for the problem that I am going to discuss. She came only for the cervical region, and she was suffering from the pain, for cervical pain, for the last 2 years. The pain was more on the left side and was extending down to the hand. So from this area, it was going to the hand. The pain was more acute with every change of weather, and whenever she became anxious, anxiety was aggravating and change of weather was aggravating. However, she felt better with the motion by her hand and the neck. So motion of the hand and the neck was ameliorating factors. She had also had other complaints. She also had warts around the neck and chest for the last 10 years. The warts were very soft, and condylomata growth in the rectum was present for the last 3 years. It was painful while passing the stool. On further questionings, we got that she was also suffering from metorrhagia. She had got menses for the last 10 years, and she got this checked with the doctor. The diagnosis of this case was the fibroid uterus, bulky, and suggested for hysterectomy. She had already decided to go for the surgery. But when we suggested, let us wait for some time and thereafter you think about surgery. So she accepted, she was happy, and she followed our treatment in toto. Now this is the report of the uterus. You see the fibroid features. This is the report again. I have just put blocked the ethical purpose. We are not disclosing the name. The bulky uterus is the final diagnosis. It is the hospital diagnostic report. The Holy Family Hospital in Patna. She had past complaints like that she was suffering from the jaundice at the age of the 14, with the discoloration of elbow joints in childhood. Abscess in axilla was there at the age of 12, which was operated, and glandular growth in external throats, which was operated at the age of 30. Her father was a farmer and he died of kidney trouble. Mother was diabetic. One brother is also diabetic. She had 3 brothers and 3 sisters. Her parental grandmother suffered from joint pain. 2 of her maternal uncles have the heart problem. Now, patient as a person, she was a religious life, and she had joined of her own choice because with the thoughts that she will be serving the need of the people. She was a silent sufferer and used to suppress her anger. This is the case history that we have taken. She suffered much at the death of her father and felt unconscious at the news of his death. So this is another milestone there. A sympathetic woman who wept easily. She enjoyed traveling and meet people. Her physical presentation, tall and well-built. Teeth had some cavities. Tongue were indented, usually constipated. She liked sleeping on her abdomen. The sleep position was on the abdomen. She liked cold season, and she suffered from prolonged menstrual flow. Analysis of the case: a sympathetic and caring lady. Religious affections was dominating in her personality, serious about her duty, but at the same time indifferent with the surroundings. She got angry easily, but this was not reflected in her action as it was suppressed within. Now we took the following rubrics. Element from anger suppressed, color blue desire. This was, we have had her history. Sympathetic, traveling desire, mouth indented tongue, thirst large quantities of the water, rectum condylobata, sleep positions abdomen on, skin warts soft and skin warts. With these things, you see the medicines, phosphorus, sepia, carcinosin, calcarea, lyco, so many medicines are coming. Our choice of medicines was the sepia because it is well reported. Carcinosin was also there at the same level, but sepia didn't cover the thirst and soft water. Carcinosin was not with the blue colored desire indented tongue. And family history suggests that carcinosin is the dominating medicines also. She was not a dominating medicine. We felt that carcinosin would pave the path for the sepia to her. So in between the two medicines, we thought about the carcinosin. We compared with the sepia and the carcinosin. She was not like that of the phosphorus. So we transmitted carcinosin 0/1 on 23rd February and on 2007. Patient was advised to take ultrasonography of the abdomen. It was done on 2nd March 2007 and the report was submitted to us on 3rd March 2007. She reported on 3rd March about feeling better and pain in the neck was much reduced. The same medicines was continued. And on 12th March, she reported again and complained of pain in the abdomen indicating men's onset. We transmitted now with the starting of the medicines, we thought that now the work of the carcinosin is over. So we should come back to her natural medicines and the sepia was the same day. So she reported her men's flow on 16th March. This time the flow was less with no feeling of the weariness. She kept on reporting with no further problem, a more freshness feeling, some of the warts also felt down. We suggested a fresh report for the ultrasonography, which was done. Now this is the second report. You see the changes and normal pelvic development and thickening of the abdomen. So there is no growth is there, uterus is normal in positions, which is normal in size. So the totality is covered with the indicated medicines. We felt that there is no need to consider the pathological data. So we didn't put the sepia of, although this sepia also covered the mathematically by the carcinosin. So following right medicines, right path will follow the right law of the cure. The selection of the right medicines require correct perception of the case at the dominating point. Now this is another case of hypothyroidism, and it was a case of the hypothyroidism. The patient was suffering and taking medicines for the last four years. The patient had the problem of breathing while walking and palpitations and cough exertions better by rest, allergic to dust and obesity. The past history, there was nothing insignificant. In the family history, father was a retired person, having with a dry cough, mother housewife, hypertension, two brothers and self only, married in 1996. Husband was a police inspector. He had one son and one daughter. Now he see the mental status. He was a graduate, housewife, and sedentary lifestyle. She does have nothing to do now because police officer and living and concentrations was very difficult. See, with the sedentary lifestyle, she had so many ideas and she used to get angry very fast, weeping after angry, mild and silent, less interest in religious activity, desires to remain in bed. She was thinking what to do and she keep lying on the bed and changes in the life. She wanted changes in the life. Why? Because she was an educated lady and she had nothing to do. She wanted to do something. So these are important things that was triggering her mind to act. So physical setup, some teeth were fallen down, tooth dryness, throat was dry with a cough, become vegetarian after the marriage because of the tradition, and nausea, vomiting tendency, eating after, stool constipated, and palpitations on walking exertions, respiration difficult, cough, palpitations, back pain, lying long, and swelling in the body whole. So this is the laboratory test. 12 point TSH was, ESR was like this, and ovarian cyst was the. So we selected the repertorial rubrics. Mind, bed, remain in desire too. You will find it beautiful rubrics in the repertory. The weakness of the memory for the proper name, mind, change desire, nausea, drinking after, chest palpitations, exertions during, and chest palpitations, cough during, and respiration difficult, cough during, and respiration difficult, palpitations during, and general in the generality chapter of the synthesis repertory, you will find hypothyroidism. On the basis of this, we got the pulsatilla. The potency 0/1 was, and pulsatilla basic theme is the changeability is better reflected in this patient. So pulsatilla 0/1 was transmitted through the hair on January 12, 16. Case monitored was done through TSS and other physical and mental symptoms. Now see the pulsatilla selection for the pulsatilla. Now this is the follow-up actions. Transmit 12th, it was transmit, there was a cough, continued. We increased the potency to 0/3, and thereafter we see the TSH to be came down to 2.05. Of the February, the TSH came down to 1.05. So it was, the case was followed for 2 years with steady maintenance of the TSH. So there is a number of cases of the. I am going to give you the one of the. This is the report of one of the case, hypothyroidism cases that we have conducted about. Pulsatilla 1 patient, Netromute 4 patients, Cilicia 3 patients, tuberculinum 2, sulfur 3, and medicines were selected from the general pool of the homeopathic medicines on constitutional selections. Now you see, all these cases are of the hypothyroidism. This is a case of the Netrum ureticum. It was this case. All these are the different cases I am presenting. Why I have presenting this? Because I want to let you know how we are selecting the medicines also. My purpose is to display like this is to say for the same hypothyroidism, we are getting the different set of the symptoms, and this different equational presentation of the symptoms is very important. In this Netromute, you will find grief, silent, introspections, weeping desire, fish desire, fasting amulette, greasy face, thyroid glands complaints, and music amulette. In this Netrum ureticum, you will find thyroid glands complaint, hypothyroidism, anger easily, fear ghost. So different set of the symptoms are there, and you see the change. Similarly, here it is also like this. Netrum, this is 15 months it took. The set of the symptoms are like this. In this Netrum ureticum, the set of the symptoms is like this. All these cases are of the hypothyroidism. And this is a case of the Cilicia. And another case is also of the Cilicia, but they have the different state of the symptoms. State of the symptoms, so equational solution is required for selection of the homeopathic medicines. This is the Cilicia, and then this is the Nux vomica case. Then there are the tuberculinum cases. Both are the tuberculinum cases, and you saw the result. Only the tuberculinum we are always putting single medicines. Our purpose is to practice. We never give the two medicines to a patient. We are strictly following the homeopathic principles. This is the sulfur, 2 cases of the sulfur with a different set of the symptoms. The 2 cases of the arsenicum with a different set of the symptoms. So key points for practice of the homeopathy: nothing can be known of disease except through the symptoms. It is the patient who is ill and not his parts or organs. Symptoms are the only unfailing guide to the selection of remedy. And peculiar characteristic symptoms, this is the statements are from our master. Peculiarity denotes the similarity, but they not similarity can hardly be indicated by the single symptoms. So we never practice, we never select the medicines on the basis of the single symptoms. I think I have taken much of your time, and Dr. Wahi had asked me to talk about the cases of the alopecia. To share the cases of the alopecia, the similar process. We adopt the similar process for any type. We don't go by the name of the alopecia, hypothyroidism, cancer, this or that. Only the set of the, so we as a homeopath, we must learn how to find out. We must learn how to find out the symptoms only. Collecting symptoms is more important. And then administering them in a proper mode. Proper mode is very important, and that is the and we have adopted the transmit. And we, a homeopath, the classical homeopath, there are some problem in the beginning, but at the latter age, you will find lot of the satisfactions when you your patients are getting cured. So I think I may need some questions from you so that I may be able to explain some of the queries from you. There are, in the chat box, I am seeing some of the questions. I'm going through the chat box. Now the question is, how much distance can place sit, sir? If the patient is at home, we give medicines through her hair, will there be change? Yes, sir. Nowadays, patient don't have to come to our clinic. Even for the first case taking, we are making it on the Google Meet. We take the history, we ask the patient to send their hair. We have the patient at Delhi, and they are, and Delhi from Patna is about 900 kilometers. And then we have the patient at Mumbai. You see the distance from Patna to Mumbai. And then also we have the patient from abroad. And you can, so right now, till now, I say, but there is no definite measurement that we have made. But up to our experience, we know that we can only tell you that distance is no bar. Distance is no bar. A patient treated from any place can be treated from any place. How to administer? Simply by, you take the medicines vial, you dilute a medicines in a bottle, homeopathic bottle, you have the 5 ml bottle, you put a water solution, water there, distilled water is better, but if you don't have the distilled water, you can even put the tap water, clean tap water. You insert 1 pills of the medicines, and then give the 10 strokes so that the medicines get potentized. We are doing like the 10 strokes like this. And after the 10 strokes, you pluck 1 hair from the patient and you insert it into the hair, into the bottle, you put on the cork there, and you keep it in your cupboard by giving a proper code. So coding is very important, so that because hair can get mixed up, so every patient must have a code number. We are giving code to every patient, and it is kept in a proper place in our clinic only, not given handed over to the patient. And now the patient is asked to report and come after sometimes. Sometimes the patient do not have the belief. So not to all. We give the placebo pills to them, but most of the patients are not asking, because they come to our clinic only by knowing, because Dr. Sahni is not giving any oral medicines to the patient. Now this is another question is very important. How much time it should be in the file? See, when the medicines is transmitted, like the follow-up, this question is related to the follow-up. So when you put the medicines into the file, you have to wait and watch and observe the 10-12 observations way. Usually, we are asking the patient, depending on the nature of the intensity of the disease. For the acute cases, we are following it up every day, to some cases every week, and to some cases 15 days and month, every month. So they have to report in a proper format. We take some symptoms so that what changes is going on. We observe the changes, and accordingly we can either continue the medicines. We don't change. If the patient is following well, we don't change the medicines. If no changes is there, then we try to see whether we are wrong, our selection was wrong, or the medicines is right, or it is delayed in getting action. So at that time, we only give the strokes. If it is delayed, we give the strokes and let the patient come after sometimes more. And then when at the time of aggravations, the medicines is discontinued also. And when we feel that the medicines need to be changed, like suppose I selected Nectramuriticum, then I want to give another medicines like Nexvomica. I simply take out the hair from the head, from the file, and we wipe it out properly with the cotton, and that hair will be, the same hair can be inserted into the another file. So potency is now the next question is how to adjust the potency. Potency selection is very much nothing new in this year. It is only the same potency selection process that we adopt. Suppose you have, because mostly I am using the LM potency, 50 millismol potency. So I give the LM 0 by 1, 0 by 2, 0 by 3. Basis of the selection is like that. Another question is from what form of medicines to use? One pill in water solution or alcohol solutions? We better we put some drop of the alcohol if you want to. The patient is the chronic nature and some. But even for the acute cases, we are only making a solution in the water only. Now, next question is, LM potency came in very small globule. So are you keeping the hair in that globule? No, we are diluting that globules in a bottle file, and that hair globules is inserted into it. Another beautiful question is that hair required is root or cut or put in the medicines. This is very important. Some patients, this is usually I am being asked like that. But as I told you, and that's why in the beginning I told you that it is the natural belonging. It may be cut, it may be plucked, or it may be, so any way form you can take. Nothing is there. We have the patient like that, who don't have the hair, no hair on the body, no hair on the body. And in that cases, we use the nail. We took the nail, we tied it with the string and inserted into the bottle, and that started working. How much medicine is required to dip here? One globule is enough. One globule is enough to be diluted in a 5 ml of water. One globule. How many cases are treated by you through these institutions? Can I tell? I can't give you the number, but every day we are getting the telephonic call of about 100, 200, sometimes even 500 telephone calls every day. And their patients are treated faraway places and last 10 years, since the statistic, I can tell you, I cannot give you the exact statistic, but every year there are thousands of patients. Another question is, I know, sir, the medicines is only depending on the totality of symptoms, but sometimes the medicine doesn't work. What you should do with the skin problem? See, this is the problem of selection of the medicines. Definitely, we have to practice, we have to think about the totality of the medicine. And there is no way out. But it is only the skills that you have to learn for selecting. You have just all through the symptoms that I wanted to show you, through the cases of the all the 15 cases of the hypothyroidism, how the medicines are being selected, not by the name of the disease, but not by the name of the medicines, but by the total number of the symptoms. So it is very important to follow. See, in homeopathy, if you want to practice homeopathy properly, you have to use the repertorial process, because in therapy, homeopathic therapeutics, repertory is the only therapeutic process. Next question is, what is the criteria to select oral homeopathic dosage over the, what you mean? I think, suppose some patients are taking the oral homeopathic medicines and also hair transmission, this is not allowed, because if you are taking one medicine and if it is being transmitted, that means the two medications is going on, which is not ethical for the homeopathic practice. Only one medicine is required. Either you use the oral medications or you use the transmission mode, but medicine should be, yeah. I think Dr. Shweta may be giving you the video available after some time. How we progress the second prescription. Second prescription is very important.
Yes, sir, we can do that.
Yeah, definitely. Second prescriptions is very important. And just a moment. Second prescription is very important. We have to learn, we have to study the process of the second prescriptions. It is very important. And I hope this question requires more here, but we are following the law of the second prescription. We don't need to, this is dosage. See, once it is transmitted, the medicine is on. There is a continuity of the dosage. There is no need of the repetition. Medicines is in continuation. So this is important. As I told you, either you put any part of the body, but you can put the rooted hair or cut hair also. Similimum remedy transmitted without hair. what effect? I think this question is related to similimum medicine. Remedy means in medicines which is similar, so they can be transmitted uh, without transmission. Without you can other part of the body can be also used. If a hair is not available, you can use the nail. You can use the blood drops, but they are not. They don't have the longevity. They will get loses their quantum value. So hair is the most convenient. That's why we are using the hair. See, can we suggest the patient to do this himself and keep the bottle at his home? I don't feel so like that, because giving the whole thing into the hand of the patient, the control of the patient, he may not be able to do it properly. So it is better not to hand over the patient because this will only, if the patient requires an emergency type of the treatment, at that time, only the bedside prescribing is required. But this can be done at the patient doctor's place only. Then list of the book from the reference books are there. In the beginning, I told you a book by Dr. B. Sahani, published by B. Jan Publications, Transmission of Homeopathic Drug Energy from a Distance. The Hindi translation is also available of the same book, and you can get both the books from our center. This is another beautiful question. Same for bottle for the same persons. Yes, same bottle, but for every medicine, there should be the different bottle. For every medicine, suppose you have prescribed the Naxvomica in 0/1 potency, then if you want to change to the 0/3, you have to use the next bottle. So then this bottle selection is very important, because if you continue, the continuity and contaminations of the two medicines will be there. It is like the combinations of the medicines. There are the aggravations. Calcarea carp has got the aggravations on the full moon. So if you know that the patient is getting aggravated during particular time, at that time there is no need to change the hair, because it is known already. So this is not required to change the dosage of the potency. So it is not required there. My email ID and phone number was there on the slides. I think you can get it. Discarding used medicines. Very good question. Now the Clinical Establishment Act and the pollution norms, it says that it is another subject, but what we do after using the bottle, we keep it in a dustbin, all those bottles that are used, and then we don't throw it out. We give it to the vendors there who collect that. This is the process that we have, and we are. I don't come under the purview of the pollution control. Question is from whether the percentage of hypertension, diabetes, in case of patient with the allopathic medicines for the same dose. Yeah, we are treating all type. Diabetes also can be treated. You all are treating, but see, you have to follow the classical law only. I am getting a better result with the LM potency. But for the last 20 years, I have not used the centesimal scale. Only few medicines I have using in the potency. the hair must be cut or removed? I have already answered this. So now another question is that if the similimum is not there, what will happen? Suppose you have selected the wrong medicines. How you know that the medicines is wrong? And on that basis of the medicines, that the medicines is wrong, you have to make another selection. So similimum, it is not that the medicines will act only in the similimum, because effect of the medicines are, homeopathic medicines are also as a curative medicines, palliative medicines, and the suppressive medicines. Homeopathy, and Dr. Harriman has very much confirmed this idea. The palliations are there when you select the medicines on the basis of 1 or 2 symptoms. When you put the opposite symptoms, that will give you the suppressions, and curative medicines will come when we select the medicines on the constitutional basis. So if the similimum is not there, that means if the constitutional similarity is not there, there will be no cure. But patient may have the sensations of palliations or the suppressions. And in both the cases of the palliation and suppressions, patients usually initially tell you that they are getting better. They will feeling better initially, but later on they may come with some bad effects. When to expect the result of the transmission? How much time you expect when you prescribe medicines to give through the mouth? Suppose you have put the medicines into the mouth, and then you want how much time you need to wait. My experience are very common. I can cite you a case, and almost all cases of the scorpion bites. And lot of the scorpions are there in our area. And when they get bite, they know that go to the Dr. Sahni and you can come back without pain from that place. It is very popular for my area. They come, I select the medicines, and the genus epidemicus medicines here is Apis mellifica 10M. I get the Apis mellifica 10M potency in a small dilutions. We take the hair of the patient and ask the patient, tell me what is the change? And change, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 seconds, gone. So this is the instant action of the dynamic medicines. The pain, acute pain, they are relieved very fast. Chronic pain, takes time. It depends on the effects. So it is a very important phenomenon. So questions are filling up. We have another 40 questions.
Yes, so there are a lot many questions. I think we can skip the questions in between. If anyone has any query, they can, I think they can post you a mail and can have the answer.
Okay.
Shweta, I have got one question to ask you.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
Normally, when we are prescribing medicines in LM potencies, and we are giving the medicine bottle to the patient, because it is because we are doing it orally. Now, in your, when you are administering the medicines in LM potency, and you are keeping the medicine bottle with themselves. So, in cases where we prescribe we advise to the patient, we say, okay, well, you have to success it 10 times every time when you take the medicine. So how you are able to manage this problem when the bottles are at your clinic?
Sir, giving 10 strokes.
Yes.
No, in the initial preparation of the medicines, we give the 10 strokes. Every time we don't give 10 strokes, we give 10 strokes another, only when we see that the medicines has stagnant actions. It has come to stop it and it is not working further. So to make it more active, to activate its potency, we give the 10 strokes.
My question was because generally it is presumed that the water memory is not for a very long time. So what is your experience about that?
Sir, to our contention is that, an understanding is that the water memory is not stored. Water memory is very fine. It is more fine. And they can retain the memory forever. Till and until you make a change there. Until you make a change there. So since the bottle are in the medicines are in the bottle, they don't need, no memory is lost.
Okay, good. So that is, I'm really thankful to you for that clarification.
There is a question that animal can be treated. Yes, we have treated dogs, we have treated cats, we have treated our cow. So many questions, so many, all human life as well as the life born on this planet can be treated with the homeopathic system of medicines and through the drug transmission mode of medicines.
So it has been so absorbing that कहते हैं पता ही नहीं चला कि टाइम कहाँ निकल गया. I appreciate your energy also for that. Dr. Shweta, anything can ask?
Sir, I think we can skip the other queries and we can proceed if you allow, sir. Sir, thank you so much for such an enriching session.
One information I would like to share with everybody, because next month, February, it is 13th of, we can check the calendar. It's on, I think 14th of February.
Yes, sir, 14th
is the next CME. And where, you know, we will be having a younger but very well known and very dedicated homeopathic physician. She is Dr. Mini Mehta, who has given good cases in earlier seminar. So she will be speaking, and she will be sharing her experience in a cancer hospital. You know, it's very difficult for the homeopaths to enter into the arena of the other system. There you find our hostilities. So, and Dr. Mini Mehta has not been an exception in that. So we have asked her to share her experience, and she will be doing it in the next webinar, which will be on 14th of February, second Sunday. This is the information I wanted to give, so that, you know, they can, all the audience, they can block their dates for that. Timings, of course, will be similar from 3 to 4:30 or 5. And if Sharma ji, I think, you know.
Yes, now I request Dr. Satyavi Sharma sir to kindly present the vote of thanks to Sahani sir. Sharma sir, are you there?
Yeah, I am very much there.
Yes, sir, yes.
Dr. Sahani, Dr. Sahani sir, you have presented very well on behalf of South Delhi Homeopathic Association. I thank you very much for this excellent presentation. This is for the first time that I have heard it, and many more people also have heard it for the first time, that such a distant cure can be made through hair transmission and even otherwise. So though it is very difficult for us to enhance and moreover to practice this system, but still I feel that it is very good. And thank you very much, sir.
We are really grateful to Dr. Sahani for giving us a time, you know, at a short time, in a short span. But the interesting part was that, you know, when I spoke to him for the first time, he gave his consent immediately. And Dr. Sharma ji, I would again, I would request you, there will be occasions, you know, when, you know, we'll be giving you this trouble, because it's always a pleasure to listen to a good speaker, not only
definitely,
a good teacher, a good person, you know, belonging to the academic part. And at our own, the SDHA, our focus is purely on academics, not on any other thing. So I'm confident.
Yes. We again thank
Dr. Sani ji. Yes.
Dr. Sani.
हम आपकी तरफ से सबके सामने एक एश्योरेंस चाहते हैं दोबारा।
सर हम आप जब भी बुलाएंगे हम आपके दिल में रहते हैं, आपके साथ रहेंगे सर।
वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
थैंक यू वेरी मच सर।
Good. We are to everybody.
Hello.
Sir, can you give your phone number or email ID so that we can contact you? I am from Kerala. It is very informative talk. Can you please, sir? Okay. Okay, I got it. Thank you, sir. Just write it down, sir. Yes.
इस स्लाइड को थोड़ी देर रहने दीजिए।
Hello.
If anyone wants to join the association and have any query regarding the membership, whether it be a lifetime membership or the annual membership, they can contact Dr. Satyavi Sharma sir or Dr. Nidhi Kalra.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, Dr. Padma.
Yeah, hello. Can I ask a question to Dr. Mridul sir? I've been waiting since a long time.
Yes.
No problem.
Okay, ask it.
Yes, please go ahead.
There's still time.
Namaste, sir. Namaste. Actually, I am practicing in London, United Kingdom. I was in Mumbai, almost practicing there for 20 years. Now, since 10 years, I'm here. There are homeopaths in this country who are using something known as a machine maker, Sulis machine maker. Yes, so they are transmitting the medicines, with the help of a machine, wherein even the hair is not used. So I just want to understand what is the difference, I mean, here there are doctors who are talking about success stories without anything from the patient, not even a hair. So how, can you just throw some light on the difference between these two methods, that your method and the Sulis machine maker that we use here?
Thank you. Very beautiful question. We are purely classical homeopathy, and what they are doing, they are trying to mix with the other aspects of the dynamism. There are many other dynamic system of the medicines, like you might have heard about the Reiki system of the medicine. There are emanometer transmitting through the machines mode are there. So many methodology has been tried to practice in medicine. So there are the medicines which is there. So it is, but in our system of the medicines, we have a definite understanding about the medicine. Definite understanding about the medicine. That means we know that what we are prescribing to the patient and who is the patient. The simillimum. This is very important because we have the confidence. But they don't have the feelings that what is going to happen. What is going to happen? And this is very important for us, that the homeopaths are very confident in their prescribing only because they are confident about the way they are giving and for why they are giving. This is the only things that makes a distinction between other system of the medicine.
Okay, thank you, sir. I have just one more question. We as homeopaths, we all don't practice this hair transmission method. So if we have any patients, what do you think? What kind of pathological cases or what sort of patients can be referred for this sort of treatment? Because we as homeopaths do come up with many failures as well. So if we know, okay, our method is not been successful, so maybe this pathology can be helped with hair transmission. So do you have any sort of discrimination wherein you can say that this can be definitely treated by hair transmission method? If at all we as homeopaths wants to refer a case, what sort of cases can we refer for hair transmission?
This is about the referring a patient to other doctors. I feel that we should develop a referral system within our pathy also, because we have the senior homeopath. If I am not able to handle that case, that doesn't mean it is not curable in homeopathy. It is my limitations about the understanding of the homeopathy. That's why it has not cured, but not the limitation of the homeopathy. This is my first answer. There are some cases of the pathological nature, of the terminal nature, where the other support systems are required. So in that cases only, we should have the sharing type of the treatment. But as far as we are doing, we are making a one doctor referring to the other homeopathic doctor. This has to be followed up. A fellowship importance should be there, because our homeopathy is such a vast system of medicines. It incorporates, I think, almost all of the universal system of the medicines. So there is no need to go out from this homeopathic system of the medicines.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Thank you. That clears a lots of doubts. Thank you very much.
Hello, ma'am. Hello, sir. Hello.
Yeah.
I'm Dr. Madhusudan from Mumbai. I wanted to know, like on look of disease, wounds, we generally prescribe, or many times the pets who are cared by somebody and they can narrate some symptom, and on that basis we are prescribing homeopathy to pets and animals. So can it be helpful for animals also?
Yeah,
like
it is
distant
helpful
medicine.
for the animal also. There are some practitioners in our region,
Okay.
I know them, that they are practicing homeopathy only on the patient. Oh, sorry, only on the animals. They are,
Okay.
all the
That's good,
cattle
sir.
are being treated by them. And they are also using the hair transmission method for the, they take some hairs from the animals and insert it, just like that we do with ourselves.
And any hair of the body will do, even for human beings, any part of hair means hair will be do, like bald patient and all we are having. So any body hair will do?
Any part of the body. Hair taken
Okay,
from
sir.
any part of the body. It is not necessary that only from the head. Any part of
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Aniji. Hello.
Yeah.
I'm audible.
Yes, sir.
At
Yes,
least
sir.
I must compliment and I should express really appreciation to late Dr. B. Sahani, who in the year 1967, when even at that time, even telephonic communication was very difficult and he was to visualize the energy transmission at that time, which the real use we are able to find only after the use of the mobile technology. So that way I salute to Dr. B. Sahani.
Yeah, that was some of the practice that was being done at some places in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't have the information, further information, but still I see some of the advertisements coming from there. They are using those machines to prepare the homeopathic medicines. I don't know how, I have no much information about that right at this now.
And how is it different? And what do we do in radiesthesia? There used to be some article or some, I think, discussion at the Liga paper also. Radiesthesia also, what you were telling, or something else?
Sir, your voice is slightly inaudible.
What about the difference in the energy transmission by the radiesthesia method?
Radiesthesia method is something different, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Our homeopathic medicines is different and radiesthesia is a different system.
Okay.
It is similar, but not the homeopathy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not the homeopathy.
Okay. Thanks a lot. So I think even after the Thanksgiving session, there have been, and really we appreciate the involvement of everybody.
All South Delhi Homeopathic Association for giving me a good opportunity to share my views. I am always eager to, whenever you will need, I will be ready with you. And for all your needs and supports for understanding and development of the homeopathy, I am always with you all.
So nice of you.
Thank you so much, sir. It's our pleasure to have you here. And we are very thankful for such an enriching session today. Vice, shall we end the session for the day?
If there is no question, then we can end.
Sure, sir, sure. So thank you so much, sir, and thank you. I'm thanking you. And I'm thanking all the participants who have connected with us today. Thank you so much.
And there have been a good continuity because attendance was 65, but 45, they remain till end.
Yes, sir.